Yeah, really for me, it's remembering where I'm at because I'm always trying to push forward, but you know, I'm not far from where I
You drive
was, you
too
know.
many cars. We all drive too many cars.
Oh yeah, exactly. Way too many. Um,
Yeah,
Yet
unfortunately.
I feel that I needed to, and now I just
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, man, absolutely.
because there was nothing that made sense, and the things that made sense were a lot different than what was. So different, in fact, that you kind of need someone to say, "Yeah, that's the right one," at least, like and then once you really investigate it and you really digest it, you realize it's the most like the childish thoughts that would always pop into my head as a child. And that it's actually extremely accurate, these wild ideas I had in my youth that I never acted on or told anyone about or wrote down or did anything. I just, like, they go through your head and you're like, that's what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, right.
Mhm. Of course, when we were children, we was closer to the source. We had less insulation wrapped around our minds. So as we got older, these thicker.
Well, there's so many things that were different, you know.
Yeah,
But like it's that traveling path of our thoughts carves the webs in our heads, and it's the more revolutions that you do the same thing or I mean, just because the teachers would say the same thing every day, it brings you back to a certain point and it makes your head just only travel certain paths. And the children, they don't have any ruts in the ground yet. It's all just a single level field, so it doesn't take any more energy to get out of the rut. There's no tracks yet. They don't have to change shoes to do the other thing. That's what we really have to do. It's almost like you have to rip off all your clothing, scream, forget your life, and then do it. Yeah, I mean, it's but and I mean, it's just that much oscillation between you and truth.
yeah, of course. Of course. Whether we're here, whether we're moving here on the plane itself, using our physical energies, using our hard matter, or using your mind, it's exactly the same principle. But if you've got two rivers in front of you getting to your destination, one's rough as hell and one's calm as hell, everybody, which river they're going to choose because it's the less energetic, less stress, less threatening. All these things all demand energy. So you want to get to the goal, your destination, with as much energy as possible. This is the same principle when you think as well. So, and all these different groups of people resonating on their own frequencies will use the calmest path to the source. So we stop wasting energy. So even though we will be united, looking in the wrong direction, we've got to do it one step at a time. We need to be united, and then we can change our angles. It's much easier, and it saves a lot more energy in the process. It's all about energy and leveling up, moving up levels every single time. But it is actually like a computer game. You have to level up.
a whole bunch, and just if one person decides they're going to decide who lives and dies, you don't really know what died. You only know what they told you lived. They wrote everything else out. And it's amazing because they've left horribly long breadcrumb trails for certain, say, races on this planet. And yet they've also eliminated people right next to everything on that breadcrumb trail. But you'll have like one word that comes through, but it's already easily corruptible. But it shows you, just like Tartaria, they didn't fully erase Tartaria, but they were trying to fully erase ones we don't know about, right? There's mistake in history when they ever tell you a story is right. You have to know there's people that died and we don't know about it. How many people have been burning their bodies for how long? Traditions that we don't understand. You can't assume anything about those things. It's a fallacy to ever think you have the full picture. That would ever be settled. And it's too many books have been burned, too many things have been removed.
Well, whilst all this is happening with this blanket that's being thrown over humanity, there is an opposite force, running with it all, leaving us the breadcrumbs, and the blanket of all the dark is noticing these breadcrumbs and realizing they have an opposite force working with them, which there obviously will be. You have opposites to everything you think of. So these light entities, I call them, are purposely leaving lights on in the dark because they are trying to counteract as well on a very high level. So there's loads of yanking, pushing, pulling, all sorts with the energies. It's not just all, it's one blanket and it's one group of people and they have us. There is other forces so powerful that's trying to counteract this also. So we are not on our own. It was just a little slip off the road, if you will. The whole of humanity is slipped off the main road. So the quickest way to the main road again is using all the low fuels that we've been using for thousands of years. And all these low fuels come from too many people on the planet, not resource-wise, but just chaos, noise, frequency-wise. They're bleeding into too many and creating other frequencies and other emotions. It's just chaotic. So they are using the negativity to pull us onto the main road again. Even though when we get to the main road, we will be driving in the opposite direction for a bit, but we will soon be corrected as a whole, and we will be turned round, and we will all get to the source. We will. Just a little bit chaotic at the moment. Yeah, it's around just under 100 years, maybe 20 years earlier. But humanity are already on the way to losing free will, and because of what we've all been used to, and all, like, you can jump in your car whenever you want, and you can drive wherever you want, whenever you want. Anyone can run certain things in the brain, and anyone can choose a movie they want. Anyone can choose the partner. We have free will. But with all the low fuels we are choosing on the wrong platform, looking in the wrong direction. We're choosing information, wrong angles of information from everything, and it's just snowballed out of control. So we now have been used to having our choice when we want to move, if we want to wake up. I know we have to go to work and stuff, but you know, even when you're in work, you can choose when you want to go to the toilet or when you have a drink. You know, we have our own choice, but we are running around screaming and shouting, slinging our energies away far too much. We can't be trusted. We're like children now, throwing tantrums, adult tantrums. If we don't get our own way, wasting even more energy. This energy is so important to move, so important to move in the spectrum and to travel closer to the source. If we're screaming and shouting, getting involved in unnecessary nonsense every day, every week, for years, some people are trapped and can't release karma, and they hold grudges, and all this demands so much energy. This energy should be being used to move us closer, move forward in a positive motion. So everyone's looking in the wrong direction, even traveling backwards, most people. So it has to stop now. So they have obviously made the decision, and unfortunately this decision was right, but you have greed to contend with, and all the people that are now implicating these new rules are now buying off and getting their say, putting their shite in the vaccines and doing this and doing that. Greed's now crept in, so nobody can be trusted. Everyone can be purchased. Everyone has secrets, and everyone is slithering around in the shadows. It has to stop, and it is stopping. But the reason why everybody's now concerned, like, oh, this is change, it's terrible, because they're going to lose their choice, their freedom, because it's not our fault. There's been too many people on the planet for a long time influencing each other. So the more people, the heavier we get, the further we drop in the spectrum, and the fuels get lower and slower. So our decision making drops with it.